Don't we all wish we could take more trips? We travel for enjoyment, education, and adventure. Yet with these benefits comes danger and drawbacks. In other cities, you may even become a victim of theft, pickpocketing, or robbery. Murder, kidnapping, and rape are even more common in various parts of the world. So we listed these top 10 most dangerous cities for you. Yes, you heard it right. They are known to be dangerous. This might help save your precious life while you're enjoying the most of it. First on our list, we have number 10, Cape Town, South Africa. According to popular belief, Cape Town, South Africa is a nation that is driven forward by its young people. In addition, this is the location where Nelson Mandela gave his very first speech in front of an audience. But how did this vibrant city of young people, which is also the Bastille of former President of South Africa, end up on this list of 10 most dangerous cities in the world for tourists? The majority of the city's citizens live in extreme poverty, despite the fact that the geographical and economic center of Cape Town seems to be ultra-modern, refined, and prosperous. However, they're aware that the majority of visitors to their city are wealthy. Take care to select the locations where you will go, and make a mental note of the spots that you should steer clear of. It's recommended that you do not travel about town by yourself, and take extra precautions if you're a woman. Number 9. Guatemala City, Guatemala. The Caribbean is a popular tourist destination due to the abundance of beautiful beaches found across the region. Guatemala, on the other hand, should not be on your list of cities to visit if you plan to travel to the Caribbean. The Guatemalan authorities are providing visitors traveling through the cities with travel tips at the moment. One of these is to practice an extremely high level of vigilance because of the high rate of crime, as well as other acts of violence like killings and strikes. This Caribbean city has a problem with an excessive number of gang and drug-related events. If I were you, I'd avoid going to this on the list of dangerous cities for visitors in order to keep my life. Number 8. San Pedro Sula, Honduras. Banana exports have made San Pedro Sula, the nation's capital, one of the most well-known cities in the world. On the other hand, you may go completely bananas in this location due to the fact that it was ranked as the most dangerous city in the world and the murder capital of the world in 2016. Remove this location from your list of places to visit because of the high rate of violent crime and homicide that is triggered by drug use. This city is also plagued by rampant instances of gun smuggling and trafficking. Over 70% of the firearms in circulation are illegal, which further contributes to the city's high homicide rate. Number 7. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. This city in Brazil hosted the Summer Olympics in 2016, which gathered athletes from all over the world. Despite this fact, it's also the city with the highest rape rate percentage in the entire world. It gets a score of 43%, which indicates that it provides tourists with an inadequate level of safety and security. Theft in virtually any form, including but not limited to pickpocketing and snatching, is the crime that occurs most frequently in Rio de Janeiro. This is second only to unwanted rapes as the most common type of violent crime in the city. Additionally, car thefts are common in the city, and they happen most frequently in secluded and dark areas such as tunnels. To avoid having your belongings stolen while you're in Rio de Janeiro, you should always use locks to protect your valuables. Number 6. Caracas, Venezuela. The cultural center of the nation may be found in Caracas. This city is a great deal of restaurants, theaters, shopping malls, shopping centers with bargains, tall skyscrapers, and other similar establishments. On the other hand, according to a report that was published in the year 2015, it's the city that has the highest death rate of any city in the world. Caracas's crime rate reached 94.77%, which is considered to be a very high level for the city of that size. The distribution of illegal drugs and the smuggling of drugs in the country are the most serious offenses, followed by theft, then assaults, and robberies. The list does not just come to an end that quickly. Therefore, if you're considering traveling to the country of Venezuela, you should approach this city with extreme caution. Number 5. San Salvador, El Salvador. The size of El Salvador makes it the smallest nation in all of Central America. This country is home to some of the world's most beautiful beaches as well as the renowned Mayan ruins. But once you learn how dangerous a certain city in this nation might be, it may be too late for you to salvage your situation. San Salvador is commonly referred to as the city of gangs, and the city that bears that title. Because of the large number of homicides that occur daily in the city, which amounts to be 20 on average, the city has a high rate of overall criminal activity. The government of El Salvador reports that a gang truce was responsible for a 41% decrease in the country's overall crime rate in 2011. On the other hand, this year saw another surge in the city's homicide rate, with estimates of 60 people being murdered in a single day around the city. It's strongly recommended that visitors steer clear of the city since it poses a significant risk to their lives, as well as to their safety and security. Number 4. Acapulco, Mexico. A city that receives roughly 300,000 tourists each year has got to be considered one of the most well-known tourist sites in the whole wide world. But despite the large number of tourists that visit the city each year, Acapulco has seen an increase in the prevalence of violent and property crimes, particularly on the city's beaches. It's been ranked as the most dangerous city in Mexico, with an increase of homicides occurring, owing to the activities of drug cartels and smugglers. A visitor's chances of being victimized by an unfavorable occurrence during their time in the city are significantly higher than their chances of having a risk-free and enjoyable vacation here. It's recommended that tourists remain at their hotels during the entirety of their trip. Nevertheless, this does not seem like a delightful experience. Number 3. Kabul, Afghanistan. Kabul is the capital of Afghanistan as well as the largest city in the country of Afghanistan. It's also the capital of the country of Afghanistan. Despite the fact that it is famous for the stunning historical gardens and palaces that it contains, you will not be permitted to enter the premises under any circumstances. The state of security in this location is precarious and rapidly deteriorating. It's a city that is susceptible to being bombed and attacked by terrorists. The residents in the area have had it with soldiers, particularly those from the United States. The worst aspect of their animosity for visitors is that they consider them to be military. It's strongly recommended that visitors to Kabul consult the embassy of their home country and take other stringent safety precautions before setting foot in the city. Number 2. Mogadishu, Somalia. Mogadishu is the heart of the weaving industry in Somalia. Yet, this developing benefit is little when compared to the enormous disadvantage and impact of all the threats presented by the city. In Somalia, travel businesses have advised clients to avoid all travel. There are just a few areas in Mogadishu that visitors aren't permitted to go to. When you go to the city of Mogadishu, you won't find much there in the way of protection, security, or safety, almost nowhere. They were unable to maintain any form of function after the collapse of their government in 1991, which led to their status as a failed state. Because of the widespread corruption in the local law enforcement, visitors are strongly advised to avoid venturing into this potentially fatal city. Number 1. Aleppo, Syria. The city of Aleppo is recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site and is home to Islamic architecture that dates back to the Middle Ages and survives into the modern day. In spite of this, Aleppo has been the scene of non-stop blood rush for years, which has forced tens of thousands of people out of their homes. The number 1 spot on this list goes to Aleppo, which is often regarded as the most dangerous city in the world for tourists. It's common knowledge that terrorists are more likely to target hospitals in the city because of their convenient location. As a result of these events, there is no longer any aviation traffic that is headed towards Syria. You should avoid going to the city if you want to continue to have a good time for the rest of your life. We cap the list of the top 10 most dangerous cities for tourists. You're now well aware of the cities to be crossed out from your list and enjoy vacationing in places where you don't have to worry anymore about your safety being compromised. In the end, it is us who are responsible for our own self.